Well, it's time now to take a look at what today's international newspapers are saying with our press reviewer, Florence Vimino. She joins me now. Hello, Florence.
Hi, Lorna.
Now, we're going to start out today with Syria because, according to an article in the New York Times, the CIA is helping to arm Syrian rebels.
Absolutely. This came out on the New York Times website yesterday. It's on the front page of the International Herald Tribune today. Now, this is according to U.S. officials and Arab intelligence officers. As you said, according to them, a small number of CIA officers are operating in southern Turkey, and they've been there for several weeks now. Now, what they're doing is giving weapons to the rebels in Syria. Now, that includes automatic rifles, rocket-propelled grenades, ammunition, and some anti-tank weapons. Now, according to this article in the New York Times and in the International Herald Tribune today, these arms are being paid for by Qatar, Turkey, and Saudi Arabia. So this goes against pretty much everything the Obama administration has been saying up to now. Now, according to this article, what they're trying to do is keep these weapons out of the hands of fighters that are allied with al-Qaeda. Now, this information comes shortly after Russia was accused of supplying the Syrian army with attack helicopters. So something very Cold War-ish about all this. And there's an interesting cartoon in the International Herald Tribune where this really comes across, where on the one side of the Syrian border, you see a CIA officer who has arms for the opposition, and he's saying Boris, and Boris on the other side of the border there is handing over a helicopter to the Syrian army, and he's saying, John, I've missed you since the Cold War.
The return to the fray. Well, Gulf News is also analysing those relationships between the West and Russia and how they're all sort of playing out in Syria.
Absolutely. These relations are playing out in Syria, according to this article in Gulf News. What's happening in Syria is, of course, of great importance on a human and geopolitical scale, but also on this wider issue of relations between the West and Russia. There's a really great quote in this article in Gulf News. It says that the arguments between the West and Russia over what to do in Syria resemble the old proverb of two bald men arguing over a comb. In truth, neither side knows what to do.
Well, moving on to another story now. Greece and Germany are playing each other tonight as part of the Euro 2012 football tournament. And there was some speculation, even before the tournament began, that they could end up facing each other. And it is much more than a football match.
It's much more than a football match, and a lot of the press is talking about that today. We're going to look at The Guardian, first of all, that says that Greece and Germany take the fight to stay in the Euro onto the pitch. And this article comes back on other face-offs that reached beyond the pitch. For instance, in 1986, England played against Argentina right after the Falkland War. Now, tonight, it's debt-ridden Greece that's playing against its biggest creditor and the country that a lot of people in Greece blame for the harsh austerity measures. Now, according to the German papers, Greece wants revenge, and the Euro crisis is playing out on this field. Now, The Independent has a great cartoon which I guess could sum up Greece's worst nightmare. You see Greece there that's not only playing against Angela Merkel representing the German team, but also Angela Merkel is the referee for this game, and the ball that they're playing with is the Euro. Now, there's another interesting article in the Independent that calls it the real Euro stress test, this match, and it looks at Germans who are living in Greece and Greeks that are living in Germany and how they're going to live this match. Now, it seems like German citizens living in Greece are going to keep quite a low profile, while the Greeks that live in Germany say they feel slightly awkward because Greeks are the fourth largest immigrant group in Germany, but they do hope for some sort of poetic justice, though, that will secure their Greek victory tonight.
Well, any tips, Flo? You don't know?
I don't know.
Well, it's a game of two halves. We'll see. Okay, but the Rio Plus 20 Earth Summit coming to an end today, and that's on the front page of the China Daily.
Yeah, China Daily. According to Chinese Prime Minister yesterday, he addressed the conference, and he said that China would take a more active role in promoting sustainable development. Now, this can come as quite a surprise given China's track record of on environmental issues. A lot of people have accused China of putting their economic development way ahead of environmental concerns. Now, he also said that at this summit that China would try to work more closely with India and cooperate on these environmental issues. So it's an interesting development for China.
Okay, well, thanks very much indeed, Florence, for having a quick look at the international newspapers for us.